SCBA Requirements in Engine Rooms by Clyde Trombettas, Statewide Manager and Policy Advisor for CalOSHA PSM Unit. Two SCBAs are required at each facility outside of the engine room. ASHRAE 15 in 1994 states, at least one approved self-contained breathing apparatus suitable for the refrigerant used shall be located outside of but close to the machinery room, and a second backup self-contained breathing apparatus shall also be provided. ASHRAE 15 in 2016 removed that statement and does not require that SCBAs be placed outside of the refrigeration machinery room. Note, a big note, it is important to note that the change to Standard 15 for SCBAs required outside of the machinery room does not imply that personal protective equipment is no longer needed. Specific requirements for respiratory protection are generally established by other agencies. Industry standards, Regigap, and regulations. Question and answers. Can an employer be held to an industry standard? Yes, they can. Can a Regigap, or recognized and generally accepted good engineering practices, be a part of a regulation? Yes, but only under PSM, or Process Safety Management. Can other regulations be cited? Yes. These are called vertical standards or regulations. Usually, you cite one or the other. Which regulation applies to respiratory protection? California Code of Regulations, Title 8, 5144. Are ammonia refrigeration facilities required to have a respiratory protection program? We're going to look this up in California Code of Regulations, Title 8, Section 5144. In the control of those occupational diseases caused by breathing air contaminated with harmful dusts, fogs, fumes, mists, gases, smokes, sprays, or vapors, the primary objective shall be to prevent atmospheric contamination. This shall be accomplished as far as feasible by accepted engineering control measures. When effective engineering controls are not feasible, or while they are being instituted, appropriate respirators shall be used pursuant with this section. 5144C-1. In any workplace where respirators are necessary to protect the health of the employee, or whenever respirators are required by the employer shall establish and implement a written respiratory protection program with worksite specific procedures. The program shall be updated as necessary to reflect those changes in the workplace conditions that affect respirator use. 5144C-1-D require applicable and suitable respirators to be provided for reasonable, foreseeable emergency situations and for procedures to be written for proper use of these respirators. Now we're going to look into Title 8, 5189N, Process Safety Management, Emergency Planning and Response, and also Title 8, 3220, Emergency Action Plan. Can a PSM facility be a non-responding facility? Fire Department response time limits, HAZWOPER exemption for simple evacuation, duty to rescue under the Emergency Action Plan, and Process Safety Management facilities rescue requirements versus non-Process Safety Management facilities. The purpose of Title 8 3220 Emergency Action Plan is for evacuation and rescue, and some training will be required by all employers. 3220E, the employer shall designate and train a sufficient number of persons to assist in the safe and orderly emergency evacuation of employees. 3220B-4, a plan must include procedures to be followed by employees performing rescue and medical duties, not just self-rescue. A conservative time for off-site rescue response. 3 minutes for the call. 5 to 7 minutes for a response time. 3 minutes to don SCBA and turnouts. 3 minutes to get oriented. 5 to 7 minutes to enter and remove the victim. This could total up to 15 to 22 minutes and would be more of a recovery operation than it would be a rescue operation. The myth about non-responding facilities. This term is not found in any CalOSHA regulation. Response appears to refer to the stopping of a leak or handling of the emergency. Rescue is still required. Rescue is only effective if done before the fire department arrives. In CalOSHA regulations, non-responding is not an exemption. Title 8, Section 3220, Rescue Elements. The following elements, at a minimum, shall be included in the Emergency Action Plan. Procedures to be followed by employees performing rescue or medical duties. The need for 2 SCBAs for rescue outside of the engine room, or escape packs strategically located in the engine room for self-rescue. The Division of Occupational Safety and Health, or CalOSHA's approach. If no SCBAs are on site, they will be cited for a serious violation for failure to provide 2 SCBAs or escape packs for self-rescue. Also cited for a serious violation for 5189N for not establishing and implementing an emergency action plan that ensures employee safety. If employers comply, install equipment, rewrite the emergency action plan, then generous reduction in penalties may be made. The progress so far? Numerous employers, over 38, have been cited for no SCBAs on site. This is in both Northern and Southern California. Penalties have been reduced, though, in response to the employer agreements to abate the hazard or to get SCBAs or escape packs on site. Reductions are because this is a new emphasis and many employers were just unaware. Numerous suggestions for alternate compliance have also come in. For example, escape packs. The usual citation patterns. Most employers will take the deal and abate. Often the employers will propose self-rescue devices that are acceptable and that will provide their employees with a means for escape. The location for self-rescue devices is important as well, like on a back wall far away from an exit where a person can be trapped. Prevention of exposure recommendations. Operators and maintenance personnel should wear a respirator, full face air purifying respirator, or a gas mask, which is preferred when opening up an ammonia system, or when there is a reasonable foreseeable emergency situation, like draining oil, filter strainer changes, opening a flange, drilling a hole, etc. Don your respirator before you open the system in any way. Self-closing deadman valves can freeze up and stick open. At least put it on around your neck so you're ready. Reasons why respirators are not worn. I have it on hand. I put it in a bucket. It's on my belt. It's in my truck. These 4 examples will not provide any form of protection when you really need to get out in a hurry. Anticipation and preparation of an emergency event will go a long way to save your life. Knowing what to do in an emergency situation is necessary in every work setting, so that when an emergency situation occurs, you will know what to do before it happens. So think ahead, plan ahead, anticipate, and prevent, so that you can go home safely at the end of each workday.